Hey everyone, back tuning into this evening's video. It's the 9th Christmas update from GavsWeatherVids.com. We've done 8 previous updates looking at the CFS V2 model from Meteoseal, 9 monthly forecast from the website meteoseal.fr. You can find a link to that website on my links page. So we're doing the Christmas look ahead tonight. The storyline so far through the other 8 updates is really that we're in for, if CFS is right anyway, and that's of course a caveat of this because it's highly experimental. The model is not to be relied upon, particularly trying to pinpoint one day's weather. But the storyline really is that we're in for quite an unsettled, stormy spell of weather around the Christmas period. Can't say if it actually coincides with Christmas Day itself, but say around mid-December to the end of December, start of January. A lot of stormy sort of conditions. Some indications on some of the updates of little bits of blocking around, possibly giving some colder snaps at times. But overall, we haven't had anything desperately cold through any of these updates so far. We haven't had one of those sort of mega runs where you get lots of easterlies and northerlies coming through, bringing bitterly cold conditions and heavy snow for day after day. It's been quite unusual. That normally you expect within the trend, you expect deviations, and we haven't had it. Doesn't mean it hasn't occurred during the days when I've not been doing the updates. Of course, there probably has been colder runs coming through, but the fact that none of the updates so far have indicated anything particularly cold could tell us that the CFS isn't really seeing a great deal of cold weather during the second half of November. But we'll see what tonight's update is showing in a moment. Before I get on with that, just want to say about the ads. There's links to articles sitting above the web video here on my homepage. Have a browse through the widget. If there's any articles that you're interested in, just click through. There's green keyword ads on some of the pages. If you rate us at over green keywords, they display ads. You click through work. Go to Advertise's website, be supporting GavsWeatherVids.com by doing that. And Gav Shop is open, so if you've got any Christmas shopping to do and Amazon between now and Christmas, just click through the Amazon banners in Gav Shop and go for do Christmas shopping at Amazon, and you'll help support the website by doing that. It's clicking through that's the key, going from GavsWeatherVids to Amazon. When you do that, we get a revenue fee on the things that you're purchasing. Thanks so much for doing that. So here we are then. We're looking at the CFS V2 9 monthly forecast from the CFS model at meteoseal.fr, generated at midday yesterday, the 21st of November. There's a 24-hour delay on these charts coming through. And this is how we're starting on the 15th of December, so starting in the middle of December, with high pressure down around Spain and Portugal, low pressure exiting the British Isles and producing quite a chilly northwesterly sort of flow on that particular chart. Now, as we run through, we find that low pressure clears away, and we're sort of being left in quite a chilly scenario as we go through the 16th on into the 17th. We bring an area of low pressure through there, and that's coming into quite cold air as it clears away. That could bring some wintry sort of conditions. Wouldn't necessarily say there'll be a lot of snow with that, but it's coming into quite cold air, and it's exiting to the southeast of the country. So yeah, we could get something a little bit wintry around that time frame. But of course, as I always say, you can't say this is definitely how things are going to be looking on the 18th of December. But just the indication that perhaps a little bit of a cold snap occurring around the middle of December. Notice this high pressure building up over Scandinavia. That's going to want to try and get the winds back into the east, but does it come off? Let's go through and see how things develop. So we run through into the 19th and bring another area of low pressure through there. Again, that's coming to quite cold air, so that could produce some wintry conditions again, particularly in the north and the east of the country. The cold air over Scandinavia that wanted to come in with that easterly wind is actually being pushed back a little bit. So a bit of a battle going on there around the 19th. The cold air from the east wants to come in. This low pressure is stopping it, but in the process could be producing some sort of wintry conditions. That low pressure clears away as we go through into the 20th, and then that half-hearted attempt at producing easterly winds has gone, because look what's lurking in the Atlantic. A very, very deep area of low pressure is forming off the south of Greenland, and that's going to bat the winds into the west. So as we move through into the 21st of December, we're firmly back into westerly flow, then proper westerly pushing through, turning milder, wet and windy with this stormy low pressure to the south of Greenland taking control of the pattern. So that sort of half-hearted attempt at a cold snap around the middle of December is quickly forgotten as we move on to the run-up into Christmas. We're firmly back into westerly flow, producing gales and wet and windy conditions, sweeping through on into the 22nd. Another area of low pressure comes in, that producing gales and heavy bouts of rain as well on into the 23rd, and yeah, it's staying unsettled then through to Christmas Eve. Showers, longer spells, rain really going through. It's not desperately mild, it's perhaps a little bit on the chilly side, but winds are westerly, so it isn't cold really, and it is very unsettled. As we get through to Christmas Day itself, this is the latest idea from the CFS for Christmas Day, and what's going on here is that we're introducing another weather system across the country, and winds are going down to the southwest, so it's becoming milder as well, so we probably bring a band of rain through, quite heavy rain perhaps on Christmas Day, and it turns milder from the southwest. Again, we can't say this is how Christmas Day will definitely be looking, but it's just the indication, again, that we're in for a westerly Christmas. If the CFS is right, it's not seeing northerly or easterly winds for Christmas tonight, as it hasn't on any of the other updates that we've been doing. As we move beyond Christmas and we get into Boxing Day, it turns very stormy again. So Boxing Day through to the 27th, deep areas of low pressure to the north of Scotland and out of the Atlantic, bringing gales particularly to the northwest, with heavy bouts of rain following through, and it's generally quite a mildish sort of post-Christmas period as well. Moving through to the 29th, very little difference in that westerly flow, so more gales, more heavy rain coming across the country. Some really severe gales in there, if that's right. Going through to the period running up to New Year, and very little change really for New Year's Eve on into New Year's Day. In fact, for the first day of 2015, it's looking very wet and windy there. Proper bout of gales coming through again, with another bout of heavy rain. So once that half-hearted attempt to bring cold air loses out around the middle of December, we open the doors to the Atlantic, and boy does it come in through the second half of December and running up to the start of January. And then quickly going beyond the New Year period, it's staying unsettled really, although maybe the indication of a little bit of a cold snap trying to come through there. But look, get back to the square one on the 5th, with the next low pressure system being formed off the south coast of Greenland. So, well, that's a very westerly update again, and it's a continuation of the trend. We definitely have a trend this year. We're not flip-flopping about, are we? We've definitely got the trend. The trend is for a westerly Christmas. We attempt to produce a cold snap around the middle of December. It does come off to some degree for a day or two, get some colder conditions, possibly even some wintry conditions around the 17th, 18th. But the Atlantic steamrollers that by around the 20th, and then there's no stopping it. So another update sort of hinting or telling us that it's likely to be unsettled over Christmas period up into the new year. Gales around at times, more bouts of heavy rain, and not particularly cold. So we've definitely got a trend this year. We'll do the next update, the 10th update, probably on Monday, see whether this trend is maintained. But that's it for now, and thanks for watching.